BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run.
Warning.
Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. Episode 38 of Chasing Joe. I am fresh from the gym. I'm feeling a little bit floaty. I haven't eaten anything. S-Jubs, you may have to steer this oil tanker of a show today because I am flaked out. I'm still in ugh.
Yeah. Heaven help us all. Okay, well, look, if you're flaked out, I mean, I literally have my child's, food spit up on my shoulder. So we're in fine form today.
What's that on your wall, sir?
That's a bat thing.
Yeah, but it's not a bat wing.
I thought I'd troll everyone by switching it up. No, that is called the Night Sphere. If you're a fan of the Kenner Batman collection around about the mid-90s.
Circa mid-90s, okay.
It's a real piece of shit, I'll tell you that much.
Based from what, though? The animated series?
It was, I suppose, a budget answer to the Batwing from the animated series era.
Yeah.
But it's basically premised around, it looks like a Batarang, right? But inside is a sphere that is on a gimbal. So, much like the B-Wing, whichever way you orientate this wing, the occupant, Batman, in this glass sphere stays upright and centered.
Why did you have to mention the B-Wing? Possibly one of my favorite design ships of all time.
It wouldn't be Chasing Joe without dipping into Star Wars.
Come on,
in the first 10 minutes.
It might be the coolest toy ever made. I had two of them, and I freaking gave one away for a skateboard in sixth form. Oh, I'm getting one. I need one.
Too cool, dude.
I need one hanging. Dude, there's more shots of them in Jedi, and they cut some of them out. You know? I think there's even deleted scenes of it doing it, where all the blasters come together and create one super thing.
Holy hell! I've not seen
Holy hell, indeed!
I don't know if I like the idea of that. I just always wish they'd kind of gone into the superstructure of the Death Star, but too big.
Did you have one?
I found one mint in box.
What is this?
About 8 years ago now.
Oh, okay, so you weren't a kid. I just love asking how people flew them. Did they fly with them horizontal, vertical? Interesting.
I did a vlog about 3 years ago now with my brother flying it in my back garden. It's somewhere on the GI Joburg channel, if you happen to be a member.
Oh.
Just putting it out there,
Okay, and you were running around the garden?
Yeah, he had the shuttle Tidarium. I was assaulting him with a B-Wing. A good time was had by all. And may I just say that if B-Wing is number one, Shuttle Tidarium or Imperial Shuttlecraft, the toy, it's got to be up there as well.
What is your cargo and destination? It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Just a beautiful toy, man.
Yes, it's big. The toy is way, way bigger it's a big vehicle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, gorgeous. I don't think I've ever seen one in hand. How many are you getting in the cockpit?
2 side by side.
Yeah,
there's a boarding ramp behind them, which is not really practical, but it's there. You could slide Palpatine down it if you wanted to. There's no flow through into the back section.
Of course.
The fact that you can seat figures in the back is amazing.
Yeah.
A later produced toy, you might have a little pod back there where you could lie down one figure and one in the cockpit. But no, this thing, back in 83, they went all out.
Well, I was going to say back in 2025, but in 2025, my postman goes all out. I've got a book here let's get into it. Let me get my notes up. I'm excited for this one. Here we go. We're opening up a comic on Chasing Joe. Okay. Okay, here we go. It is Special Missions 25. It came out May 2nd, 1989. Very much coming to the end of the Special Missions run. It's a zany, wild cover. And I know you want to talk about it, but how can you talk about it? Because I haven't drenched you in May 2nd, 1989 cultural landscape at the Megaplex, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which gets better every single time you watch it. For a long time as a kid, it might be your third best one. I'm a big Temple of Doom guy. Raiders is just technically incredible. It's the first one, but for that cozy Sunday when you just want to relax into a film, nothing quite does it like Last Crusade. And I love that it just snuck into being an 80s film. Any quick thoughts on it before I move on?
That was the one that I fell in love with first. I much like Star Wars, I got them in reverse order.
Right,
Probably because the VHS was more readily available. So it was definitely Last Crusade first, Temple of Doom, and then eventually got to see what the fuss was about with Raiders.
Oh, wow, you must have had your...
Well, it's almost a little bit anticlimactic in a way because there are some rough edges to Raiders.
Rough being great? What do you mean? Well, it could be a perfect film. Bad dates.
I need to watch it again. I guess I just missed the chemistry that Indy has with his dad. I find that so compelling.
Well, it is compelling.
It's two great actors firing off one another, but like it's got like a polish to it Raiders. I need to watch it again. All I can think of is like a sequence where they've got like the sort of the stock standard map with the dots, and I'm like, okay. I don't know if I love breaking the cinematic medium by showing us the sequence. It is very much like Pulp, which is what Indy's going for. 1930s, like cut to a map montage.
Yeah. My daughter is called Indiana, and not a day goes by where I don't say, we named the dog Indiana.
Check.
And she's very much someone that thrives off watching age-appropriate content. Boys may be slightly different. Like around Indy's age, Phoenix was like, right, come on, let's get to the hard stuff. I need violence. Whereas Indy is just essentially scared of everything, and she struggles with the Indy films. The various scenes, like especially Temple of Doom. And it's become a bit of a joke in our household that she doesn't actually like Indiana Jones.
Well,
and
you didn't
I'm
name
like,
her Marion.
I'm like, come on, Indy, you've got to meet a dude with a surname Jones when you're older.
Damn.
Right. Get out of screen 1, get into screen 2, and you could watch Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner, weird film. He's seeing ghosts in his cornfields. Builds a baseball stadium, in his backyard. What's interesting about that film? It's got...
Is it a stinker? Does it hold up?
James L. Jones is very good in it. No, it does hold up. I actually got quite a lot of time for that film. I don't know why. It's one of those films that I think I must have watched with my mum loads on VHS, but for some reason, I know it extremely well. What else was out? Roadhouse, See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Don't actually think I've even seen that. The radio spheres were playing Madonna Like a Prayer, which is kind of back in the zeitgeist thanks to Daredevil and Wolverine. I heard something interesting about that. He had to go to her house and show her some footage of when they were going to play that song in the film, because she was not... I don't know. I always thought it was the music company's decision, but I don't know. She had to sign it off. She saw it, thought it was funny, let him have the song. Can you imagine how much she charges for stuff like that? I mean...
Does she own her catalogue?
Maybe that's what... I think when you're quite a big artist, I think the goal towards the end is to retain your catalogue, isn't it? Financially.
Or in the middle of one's career, like Taylor Swift re-recorded all of her hits, so she could own those. Yeah.
I know that because Indy's always listening to Taylor in the car, and I look down and it always says, Taylor's version. I'm like, aren't they all your version?
Just off topic, on topic. Do you know the story of Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson's fallout?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay,
it's wild. It's just it's such a dick move. Like, it's just crazy.
No,
like,
Michael, you should invest in something worthwhile. With your money.
Just goes and does it behind his back.
Yeah,
because he had way more liquid cash than McCartney at the time.
Oh yeah,
and I think McCartney's goal was to buy the rights to all of the Beatles songs eventually, and was probably kind of building up to it. Yeah. Anyway, you stumble out of your car into the comic shop, and things get interesting in there. Wolverine issue 11, Alpha Flight issue 74, Canadian Super Team. But then, depending what country you find yourself in your time machine, you'd either be picking up Action Force Monthly issue 12, all new, all purpose, all soldier, or GI Joe European Missions, which is a reprint of Action Force Monthly. I think I'm going to have to read these books at some point, S-Jubs. What is your... have you read them? Do you own them? What's your deal?
They're a blind spot in my collecting, so maybe we have to do them. But
iconic covers. Iconic.
You realize you're pushing the finish line of this podcast out.
I know, well, it would be chasing something else, but... I haven't. I would have probably picked up a couple of those issues just from my mum being like, "Oh, you're into this, I'll get that." But I know the covers really well. They're some of my favorite kind of imagery from the whole GI Joe IP.
That would be a lot of Jeff Senior stuff, I assume.
The Cobra Eel sewers cover. Oof, iconic. A lot of
that's one I do have.
A lot of Flint, obviously. Is European Missions a straight carbon, just copy reprint? Is there anything else? You've asked me this before,
and you've asked me this tonight, in fact, or today for you. It is a blind spot. I'm more than happy to include that in the Chasing Joe catalog. Let's do it all, bro.
Okay, sometimes I feel like European Missions don't always have the same cover as well. Or do they? I don't know. We'll have to get into that. But look, the people that love it really love it. Like Chief is always going on about me to read those Action Force monthlies. And also the size is interesting, isn't it? It's all that sort of 2000 AD size.
You're not talking about Battle Action Force then, the precursor.
Oh my God, I don't know what I'm talking about. Although I kind of do, because... I don't know how I got onto this, but I've been buying the real Ghostbusters toys this week off Vinted. How did I get onto that? I have no idea. Furious Flush, I've bought them all. The football player, the granny, the cop, I don't know, all the iconic ones I remember from my childhood, and they're pretty much all coming today. I was hoping they'd come before the show. But in the comic shop, Marvel UK, you could have picked up the real Ghostbusters issue 48. And
confession time, Ben. What gets you more excited? A visit from the postman delivering plastic or paper?
He delivers a lot more paper. I can tell you that.
But are you pumped about getting a box of old Ghostbusters toys?
Plastic is super fun. Yeah, it's really fun. There's with the plastic, there's always a little bit of fear. Like the photos looked good, and plastic can go either way. Like either you're just so super pumped and it is everything you wanted it to be, or it's like, this is rubbish. But I think this is going to like really bring out the nostalgia pangs when I get my hands on a Furious Flush.
Are you going to open them solo? Are you going to wait for Phoenix to get home?
I'm going to fully wait for Scout on this one. He's really pumped.
Good.
Yeah, Has
he been watching the real Ghostbusters cartoon?
He hasn't. I've just shown him some images of them, and I just think he loves the gimmick of like, oh look, it's a granny, and then because I said to him, I was like, look dude, I haven't bought any of the Ghostbusters, I haven't bought any of the big four. I was like, they don't do anything. They're pretty boring.
Then you should get their second versions, the sort of the fright features ones.
Yes, I've seen the second versions. What am I looking for here? Here we go.
That would actually delight Scout a great deal, to have like, Egon, you press his arm down and his eyes bulge out. Boing,
yeah.
Boing.
I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is branded real Ghostbusters. I think it might be like a re-release.
Ben is showing us a Slimer for anyone listening to the audio, expecting to hear GI Joe, but
we'll get to it.
Other things.
But look, before we get to it, NES. If you had a NES in 1989, you could have been playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Konami released that for the NES, one of the first video games based on the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series. It came out after the show's second season. Turtles is way older. You ask anyone about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they will say, oh yeah, that was like big 93, 94. It was pretty much over by then. It was big now. If you didn't have a NES and you were still pumping the arcades, this is a good one. Super Off-Road. Big cabinet. 3 big, like, deep coned steering wheels, which don't really make sense for a kind of top-down off-road racing game. It was always very confusing. You've got this very big wheel controlling this very small thing. This is like a lot of oversteer, but good fun. I remember playing it. I don't know if you have any memory of that game.
I'm pretty sure there was a cab of it at the massive Brisbane Retro Arcade that just closed down. Sadly. And it was a hell of a day, that last day, so I didn't get around to playing it.
It was cool because it had, after each race, customization, mods, and lots of different, like, tires,
Were you using the wheel to make selections?
That's what, it's absolutely nonsense. I have more memories of playing it on the SNES. I think Americans find that Brits say SNES really unusual and funny. No, apparently, I don't think anyone else calls a SNES. They say SNES or Super Nintendo. But us Brits, we are a zany bunch. And talking about zany, let's get into it. Running total £191, 47 pence, 258 USD. This was a £1.60 book, part of the bundle I bought. It is time to open it up. S-Jubs, what's going on with the cover of this book? There's a giant pterodactyl. There's a tiger sting. Just what is going on? I've never read this book before, but I know the cover, and I think I've never read it because I was like, oh, that's the silly special missions where they go to dinosaur where they go to dinosaur land and meet Swoop or this big pterodactyl. I'm gonna smell it. It
looks pretty minty fresh.
Yeah, this book is unread until last night. God, it's another one. It's honestly, it's like a hospital store cupboard or a stock room. Not necessarily bandages, but yeah.
Cleaning agents.
Yeah, when you're in I don't know, when you're in that, you find yourself in A&E and the nurse is like, I'm just going to go in here and get this. And she opens a door and it's just, I don't know, stock.
Packets of things.
And then I go in and smell it. So that's how I know how it smells. Where do we start? Let's get going. The cover. What's going on? You don't like it. I noticed you like covers to be quite on the nose with what is happening in the issue. You want them to be linked, connected. Technically this very much is-ish.
In a roundabout way, yeah, but it's going great lengths to mislead you. Firstly, you check the signature in the corner. It's Andy Kubert. It is a formidable piece of art. Do like it. The pterodactyl looks amazing. It looks very realistic, which leads you to believe that this is actually a pterodactyl.
Yeah, but an oversized one, like Who's
to say? Isn't that the size of a pterodactyl?
Dude, they're big creatures. They're not that big. They are not that big. That is more monster-like, GI Joe Monster of the Week kind of a vibe. And also, it would appear to be the last thing on their mind. You could have drawn them like looking back, you're like, ugh! But once you actually read the issue, you realise why they're not looking behind.
Well, look, whoever's in the driver's seat, and it is unclear, he's seeing something ahead of them that's even more frightening. Mm-hmm. And whoever's beside him, which kind of looks like Ripcord in this image, is concerning himself with the pterodactyl. So there's danger all around.
It's nicely coloured. Nice inks, like the deep, dark shadows really give it that monster vibe. I had quite a lot of fun making the thumbnail for this with his claws like coming over the Chasing Joe logo.
Yeah, lovely cover. But I mean, the term didn't exist in 1989, but absolutely Andy Kubert is trolling us in terms of just keeping the mystery of what this issue is actually about.
Yeah, well, have you got a synopsis for this issue?
I could bore everyone to tears with the actual details.
Can you bore me?
Way too complex. No. I think suffice it to say, we're in New York, and there is a DOA situation where they're trying to track down some terrorists on U.S. soil with bombs. Mm-hmm. They enlist G.I. Joe's help, but G.I. Joe is set up to be the fall guy, while Skip Benson Barr from the DOA is actually in cahoots with the leader of the terrorists and is using him to make himself look good and achieve both their mutual goals at the expense of G.I. Joe. This is a typical story trope for special missions.
Okay, let's open it up. Before we get to the special mission, it's Zitz. There's a teen, and he's so happy because he's got clear, fresh skin. I do remember...
Double zap your zits.
Double zap your zits! For double clear skin. I do remember
Did you have good skin growing up, Ben?
I had very good skin. I unfortunately, some of my friends were almost freaking hospitalized. Their acne was so bad. I do remember being bombarded with adverts like this, though. So much skincare stuff for teens. It was wild.
Yeah. I believed it. I believed buy these pads, buy that face wash, it'll clear up your skin. Nah. You just
Do you know the thing that I found best if I did have a breakout was, if it was summer, just a little bit of sun would really clear my face up. Like every time we went
like
skiing,
an old wives' tale to me.
It's not, dude. I think there's something about drying it out. I'm not talking about burning your face, but just a little bit of vitamin D on there. Anyway, forced play. Okay, my first question: why are Tiger Force deployed in New York City? Because even just from that first image, I feel like SWAT and police have kind of got it under control, and I almost think, even though I'm Team GI Joe, who are these clowns turning up in their like silly vehicles?
Dealing with a terror situation with rocket launchers and like
and just straight off the bat, Duke is so freaking like pregnant with anger. He just turns up and just goes straight away.
He is going hard all issue.
Yeah.
And may I just say that while I had a knee-jerk reaction at first, I've come around on it because I think this is how Duke is meant to be portrayed. He is an asshole 100% of the time, all of the time.
So he's not Scott Summers.
He's not Scott Summers. He's not Captain America. He's not captain of the football team, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, like all-American boy.
No.
He's an asshole, and he's supposed to be an asshole.
That's
his job.
Dick. Yeah. I think he's not particularly likable. I don't really like any of his attributes. I don't... Yeah.
Well, because he's the central kind of hero of G.I. Joe in the sort of the later years, we've had movies where he's the central character. We've had cartoon series where he's the central character. They've made him sympathetic. They've had to soften him to being the hero. But I think Duke works far better. I mean, in a team of heroes, you can always find your Hollywood leading man. Duke ain't that. Don't make him that. He is a like top sergeant, like just ass kicker, like blowhard. I mean, he should surpass Beachhead in that attribute.
Well, they're slightly different. I would say, see, Duke's not grumpy, where that's kind of more Beachhead's vibe. Duke he can't really sort of handle the injustices of everything. Now, just quickly, because I'm going to want some help from you in explaining a few things, but I just thought we'd start with...
Hang on. For the people who are not familiar with this issue, let's give them a few examples of just scripting that.
Oh, yeah.
Spouse.
Well, he hits him. I mean, he hits him.
He just decks this suit, this G-Man.
But yeah, G-Man is so right, isn't it? I mean, is that of the... 89 feels like yesteryear still, but... Yeah. So what is he? Is that Haymaker there? He's crossed him.
It's unclear. Maybe,
right.
Well, yeah. It looks like Duke's absolutely wound up and let it go. But that
animal! You're going up on charges, assaulting a federal officer.
But beyond like physically assaulting him, he calls him a numb little seat licker. He says that you lick up all the brownie points, which is a horrible turn of phrase. He does some like body shaming at one point.
Yeah, he does always come back to civilians. You could have harmed civilians. You could have so he's in the right place. He's not just angry for angry's sake.
This is your show, Skip. You lead the way, and my team will provide backup. Don't worry, we won't get in the way while you lick up the brownie points. God.
Yeah, you'd accuse me of body slamming you. Right, I'm going to need your help in a minute with a few bits, but I just thought I'd say after the last 20 years that we've kind of had on planet Earth, the fanatical suicide bomber kind of hits a little bit different now, doesn't it? I've never read this book before, and when the dude is climbing the ladder and he's giving his big spiel, I was still surprised when I turned over and he jumps off and boom, he goes up, S-Jubs.
And you kind of know while he's ascending the ladder and going on about how children will sing songs about him in their schools and whatnot. I'll be immortal.
Wow.
Badoom. And you kind of know that the punchline is that people will be like, who the hell was that guy?
Yeah.
And that's not where I got the laugh. The laugh came after that. There's sort of a double punchline when the guy's like, who cares what his name was? At least we don't have to listen to his speeches anymore. That's a killer.
Right, so before we get into this really exciting New York City chase, can you just fill us all in on Darklonia keeps coming up in this issue, the terrorists, who they're working for, that side of things. It's kind of my least favorite part of the issue. I actually like all the action and stuff, but what's going on here?
Seems there's a faction that want to usurp Darklon from power in Darklonia.
Okay.
They've got a cell in the United States, and they are kind of wanting to, I suppose, draw attention to their cause by bombing targets in the USA. Darklon wants them taken out, so he's going to enlist the aid of the American Department of Defense and GI Joe to silence these guys, I guess, blow the whistle on them. So there's some collusion between the American agency and Darklon and his diplomat, who has diplomatic immunity.
Oh yeah, Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic immunity. You couldn't even give me a parking ticket.
True. Yeah.
Come on, that is
the fact that, like,
great film.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely. Anyway, so I don't know. What more do you want to know, Ben? It's
Good. That's it. That's good. I mean, look, this the heavy bloody lifting in this issue. It's wild.
Dense,
but
it
look,
doesn't really add up to much. Because
whoa, ease up there because I'm a.
This doesn't feed into any continuity. So all of this reading is a one and done. It's like, ugh.
I love that. All of this reading.
It's not even adding to any like ongoing narrative.
Yeah, but I was kind of pumped after that big bad doom, and then I hear this book, this New York City chase. You can just hear them bikes revving and pedestrians in shock, and it feels more like a Bourne Identity film. And they're kind of like jumping over cars, and then Lifeline gets involved and does some kind of weird deep squat and then a kick.
I guess he learned some offensive moves because I thought his version of martial arts was using only defensive moves. Anyway, he does.
Yeah, and the panel of them going down into the subway, like high pitched revving. Woo, woo, woo. I am loving this stuff for sure.
There's a line though that I want you to clarify for me.
Which one?
Well, they're on the Tiger Paw, which is the ATV, and they say, "We'll never catch that Harley. Go for the Yamaha Lifeline." Like,
wrong way round. Surely, just simply the wrong way round.
I do feel like maybe
Harleys don't have
had to,
torque, do they?
Fast.
They haven't got torque. They're just I don't know about that.
But I think that was Larry kind of fixing or attempting to fix an art.
Okay, well look, we're coming
error.
Up my favorite part of this issue, the next page. Come on, what is this? The undercover Manhattan team, plainclothes unit, Alpine, Lightfoot, Jinx. I love this. You know, we're seeing them in their fatigues all the time. I'm buying this book because I want something different. And again, you can just, it feels so filmy, so cinematic. The kind of radio garble, they're all talking to each other. Jinx is in like a garbage truck thing. The edits would be so good as they're just, Alpine's kind of like shadowing him. I just think it's so cool.
About 1 foot away from him.
Yeah, and just talking.
Just talking, yeah.
But it kind of made me think, clandestine team of figures. Like, would you have any interest in that? Like a classified little unit of these guys in plain clothes, or would it just not? Would that be just too dull, too boring?
Probably too dull, but I do appreciate seeing them on the page here.
You got it.
Like Lightfoot has never looked better. Like, he's just a cool dude in a trucker hat. He's having a smoke. He's got a paper. He's got this cool bomber jacket.
This is super mature G.I. Joe stuff here.
I like
And
how
I'm-
Jinx is in she's in a jumpsuit, like overalls, but they're still red.
I
So
want to
she's
play
got
out this
those-
scene. The only thing I could do is I'd have to use Scout's. For crying out loud! What's the Australian dog everyone likes? Bluey.
Blue healer.
Bluey. I've got the garbage truck.
So do I.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a
You kind of said that like, so do I.
Well, you can't
it's-
avoid it. Elliot
It's
has
lovely.
like 17 garbage truck toys, but he insisted he needed the one from Bluey. And power to them.
Get Jinx in there. Get Jinx in there.
I've got better garbage trucks than that in my eyes. Anyway. More accurately scaled with opening doors.
Okay, well, look, I'm really here for this kind of stuff. This spy, espionage, GI Joe, undercover team. Of course, GI Joe are going to have to go freaking undercover. You know, Alpine can't always be just parading it. Not everything he can, you can't just be out there straight up. This is, they're going to be doing undercover stuff. To be fair, they're probably doing more of this than when they're all in their fatigues. I just do like it. I'm not saying I want everything to be super real world, but it is a nice palate cleanser. And coming off the issue we just did last week, this is fascinating stuff. I will say, with the Tiger Force element of this issue, the color's just a little bit too. It's just a little bit off. The yellow is just a little bit too bright. A lot of blues in there.
Well, they
We didn't. What are we doing?
They can't recreate that fade. I think that's what's so signature about a Tiger Force vehicle is that it isn't all yellow.
Well, no, it fades
got
to
that
white.
Lovely, yeah.
But it
That
fades
lovely
to
gradient.
Yeah, we didn't really clear this up. Why a Tiger Force in New York? Like, I don't even think the toys look cool unless they're at the beach or they're on the desert. That's just how it's got to have to be. They're Tiger Force. They are a special unit
Well, it does
designed
seem
to be deployed in the freaking desert conditions.
the presence of Tiger Force in this issue of Special Missions is
Go out and buy it.
it's forced. It's very forced. It feels like a mandate. Like Hammer had this story in the pipeline for just General Joes. That's why we've got moments for Jinx, for Alpine, for Lightfoot, not Tiger Force members, or at least not typical Tiger Force members. Jinx got a figure later on. But yeah, the fact that the Tiger Force vehicle pool is being used instead of like just general undercover vehicles, nondescript stuff, it's erroneous. It's purely a toy thing. Hasbro has played its hand in this issue.
You got much to say about the panel design choices in this issue? There's a lovely.
I'm sure you do.
Because there's some real filmic stuff. Just these bird's eye view shots of when they park the garbage truck outside the embassy.
Oh yeah.
I kind of got stuck on that panel for a little bit. I was like, yeah, that is an establishing film shot if ever I saw one. With that idling truck. And actually on the adjacent page, you get a shot of the Twin Towers, which is bizarre. Which hits now as well.
Well, the fact that G.I. Joe... Okay, spoilers for the end of this book. G.I. Joe smuggle an explosive device into the World Trade Center. And that's perhaps in poor taste now. Like, that has not aged well. Like, they're the good guys, and it's kind of irresponsible. The cliffhanger of this issue is the chief villain, the sort of Darklonian diplomat, has an explosive chained to his wrist in a briefcase, and he's been locked in the door with this DOA Skip Benson bar and his goons. And the Joes have just walked out. They're like, you can either blow up with this guy or toss him out of the window. Pretty irresponsible stuff. I hope they'd actually disarmed the bomb, and this is all just a fake out. But we don't know. We're not given any conclusive evidence.
When they're driving around trying to pick up the bombs that are on timers, that felt like a level in a video game. Just back to the Tiger Force vehicles.
The Vengeance. Die Hard, the Die Hard trilogy for PlayStation. That's it, right?
Well, we're going to get to that. Just back to the Tiger Force vehicles. Tiger Sting. Why do I not know this vehicle? Did it not get a European release?
It did, but it was in the second wave of Tiger Force vehicles. So in 1990, you would have gotten the paw, the cat, the fly, the shark. And then in 1991, you would have gotten the sting and the fish, which is a devilfish. So maybe they're less celebrated. But it was brought to my attention not too long ago that in the Netherlands and probably some other parts of Europe, maybe the other Benelux countries, the tiger sting was called the Sahara, which is cool. A nice little rename. And there are mold differences. A US released Tiger Sting will have like the typical like Vamp Mark 1 chassis that's quite smooth.
Yeah.
Whereas the European release will have the shovel, will have the bedroll.
Right.
So
looks like a cool toy. Looks like a really cool toy.
It was my Vamp for many years. It was the first iteration of that mold that I ever got. And damn good one.
Shall we talk about the Natural History Museum section? We can finally kind of explain the cover away because they go for that's another cool scene that I would love to see played out in a cartoon or live action. They're just hurrying through this Natural History Museum. Feels quite Indiana Jonesy or something like that. They're picking up these bombs and then the pterodactyl. Where is it? I can't find it. I can't find it. Is it not mimicked? Where is it?
It
falls on
two
them.
panels. So one of the terrorists shoot a hanging pterodactyl exhibit inside the Natural History Museum, and it crashes down beside the tiger sting.
That's it.
And that's it.
I am so here for this. You mentioned Die Hard, and I've got in my notes Die Hard with a Vengeance.
That's it.
Where they jump. Where does he say it? I'm jumping the wall into Central Park. And it's just like that scene. Boof. And they
Are
go
you trying
for
to
a
hit
ride.
these people? No.
Yeah.
Maybe that mime.
And they're just hooning through Central Park. That's a good scene in this issue. And they go over that bridge. I've ran over that bridge.
Yep. And
it's really action-packed. And then we
been
get
to the Natural History Museum a few times as well.
Yeah, the Science Museum.
I feel like that
lot of time in New York.
dinosaur. I feel like that dinosaur exhibit hasn't changed since 1989. Like it looks the same today.
Yeah, it's a shame. The one in London, they got rid of Dippy. Dippy had been there since when I was like 3. Big giant Diplodocus in the main hall.
You also say Diplodocus. I've been encountering since having a 4-year-old and naturally watching.
Well, it was
people say Diplodocus.
Oh, do they? I don't know. Well, that one was called Dippy, and he was joyous. But he's not there anymore. I think he's been transferred to another museum. But again, they're exiting this museum in such amazing ways because they smash out the window, the Jeep, and the Sting. Oh, you can just imagine filming that. Oh, I'd love it. I mean, they're tearing up New York in this issue. And that's so cool with the, for goodness sake, where the Jeep goes into the side of the bloody tiger cat.
Yeah, well, and
because
also,
the heft of it, he's so comfortable knowing that this is not going to be a problem. Like the sheer heft of that vehicle, he just doesn't feel anything in that cab. Just like a little.
I appreciate when the tiger cat is kind of made larger. You know, it's a far more substantial thing than the toy ever was. So the toy is about the size of a Jeep with like maybe a back, additional sort of 6-wheel drive back section. But like in real life, it's a big truck. And so, it's a big missile truck, big heavy duty snow truck.
The toy is dinky, but it wins all the awards for the cozy factor. That's for sure.
On the page, they've made it larger, which is awesome. I like the fact that they call attention to the fact that the terrorists are driving a Suzuki Samurai, which does have a very high ride. Like if you've ever seen pictures of the Samurai or the Jimny, very like lofty 4-wheel drive. Like, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, that does not look like it has superb road holding. So they're like, the center of gravity is too high. We should have gotten a Bronco.
One of my favorite panels as well, because it's just pure comic book, is the Peteman, don't! We can make a deal! And he's got his lopsided shades, his mouth is gaped open. There is no deal to be made. Oh, that is joyous. I put that in the thumbnail as well. You can probably tell a lot of like my tastes with these thumbnails because I pick my favorite panels to make them.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Benjamin.
Yeah.
This piece of shit from Darklonia is selling out his friends. He's selling out everyone. So he deserves his fate. Well, we assume he has a fate. It's left open-ended, as we say.
So look, I went into this issue expecting some kind of zany science mistake, pterodactyl unleashed in the desert or something. That was honestly what I thought the interiors of this book were going to be. I've never read it before. I don't know. Does this mean anything to you, this issue? Did you have it? Are you familiar? Read it a couple of times?
This is probably the second time I've ever read it, and
Okay.
no, it doesn't mean much to me, Ben. And like, it's honestly the most skippable.
Is it too much for you? Is it too far from GI Joe? Is it what's because I don't really have that kind of hot take on it. I had quite a good, to me, quite an interesting
As a fan
issue.
of the Tiger Force designs and
Yes,
figures and
I
range of
understand
toys,
that.
don't you feel like they were wasted
Yeah,
on
yeah.
an ill-fitting issue? And it's like, oh, we featured them now, moving on.
Oh, okay. So in the wider context, you're saying that they really don't actually shine that much, and this is all we get. Yeah, that's not great. If this is the one spotlight for Tiger Force, that is horrendous. I'm just saying there's things in this issue that I absolutely love, like the New York chase stuff, the undercover GI Joe unit. I think that stuff's really, really good.
Duke being an asshole.
Yeah, and really enjoy reading it. So it's certainly
Good, at
not
least
all
one
bad.
of us was.
Well,
really
and a Central Park chase, like the action in it is pretty good. Would you agree? But you just can't get past the Tiger Force stuff. I mean, that is annoying.
It's pretty good. The action is pretty good against no one targets. I mean, like, who are these people? They're just
Yeah, well, it's a chase, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's not like
Joe's being
combat.
drawn into some kind of political machination from the Darklonians, like basically a country that's, by the sounds of it, is on the brink of civil war, but it's spilled over into U.S. soil, so GI Joe's involved. I don't know, Ben.
Yeah.
This is just so utterly forgettable for me. And
Are
I'm
we,
grateful that on this podcast, I finally stumbled onto an issue that I'm less than enamored with. Like,
Yeah, fine.
it takes a while.
You kind of worried me. So as far as Tiger Force go, what have we not got an amazing desert-based issue to get our teeth into, where we see these vehicles and Figs doing something really cool in the desert? Have we not got that?
I desperately don't want the lights in your eyes to go out, Ben. So
But why would they not have
definitively
pushed?
answer that.
I don't understand, because this was a big deal for them, Tiger Force. They would have been wanting to push these toys. I don't understand how there isn't...
It's baffling, but all I can think of is like they were just on the wrong side of Larry. He
Wow.
was not about to get excited about a repaint force and give them a dedicated time.
But
to
are you
shine.
saying this is it? This is literally it? Is it?
They have sporadic appearances, but nothing.
I'm in shock.
There's no moment that they are featured as Tiger Force using captured Cobra equipment, re-outfitted GI Joe stuff to perform perilous missions behind enemy lines. Forget that. You're never gonna get that.
Okay, what about one of the Action Force annuals? Is
Oh,
there
the cover,
not-
sure. Do they do a
The-
story?
Yeah, so the cover.
It's like a
but that's
prose
not-
story. It's not a comic book.
Yeah, but that's not the one I like, because I like Havoc
One with
in the
Havoc.
Outback, and that's not Tiger Force based, is it?
Nope.
No, but is there not a Tiger Force Pro story in the other annual?
You've got it. Dig it up.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't have that one.
You delinquent. You kept
Wait,
showing me
so
screenshots of it, and I assumed you had it.
No. There's three. I'm just looking at one now. So I've got the Flint and Destro cover one. Yeah, you know that one.
Yeah.
Then I've got the one with the Havoc on the front.
Yeah.
And then there's one with all the Tiger Force vehicles, isn't it? That's the one I don't have. Oh my
Best
God.
you remedy that, Benjamin.
I tell you what, I hope you don't buy that annual and then in it is that issue. That would be awful. Youch. Okay, well, it's kind of made me feel a little bit different, but not necessarily about this issue. I'm shocked. That's crazy that we don't get to see any more. I just love Tiger Force. It hits me right in the feels. It was such a big part of my collecting, and it was probably when I was in it the most when Tiger Force launched. And it's one of those things, getting into GI Joe again and feeling it out. It's like, yeah, not really many people are that jazzed for the repaints and Tiger Force. Whereas I'm telling you, if you were in the trenches at the time live, that was a great opportunity to get old vehicles that weren't being sold in the shops. Same with Figs. It was just fantastic. I never saw it as, I was too young, but I never saw it as like, oh, they're just repaints. This is just recycling old toys. I was fully on board and kind of understood, like, no, this is cool. They must have captured these and they've painted them up, and yeah.
Side by side with the rest of the lineup of the sort of the 1988 series, the Tiger Force vehicles have a distinction of just being superior. It's cruel to things like the Desert Fox, the Sky Storm, and whatever else was released, to then put them up against the Tiger Fly and the Snowcat or the Tiger Cat. Like, night and day. The earlier vehicles, even recast in wacky Tiger Stripe, are superior. They are a better design ethos. Rubber tires on the Ferret / Tiger Paw. Just better builds all around. More intricate designs, more model kit quality, more pieces, more plastic runners, more sprues, more construction, more blueprint. So night and day. I mean, yeah, I also was in the same boat as you. I got these vehicles because I absolutely adored them. They were cut above the rest. The color scheme, be damned. They were. Well,
it's like I was playing Streets of Rage 4 with Scout yesterday, and when you're on your character selection point, being able to scroll through and look at different colorways. It was the same with Street Fighter 2. And it's the same with vehicles. How cool would it be just to cycle through vehicles in different colorways and different skins? Yeah. Here for it. Now, there's a few incredible adverts in this issue that I just have to call out. This one here. Okay. Can you see this?
Is it indie?
It is. Now you can be Indiana Jones. Play the Indiana Jones interactive telephone adventure games. What is a telephone adventure game, S-Jubs? Choose from 6 games, win great indie collectible prizes. I mean, was that like £1 a minute? Was that just like you were going to ring that and get fleeced?
Good Lord, £1 a minute? Surely not.
Well, it wasn't going to be cheap, was it? I think it was a bit like when you ring that Nintendo helpline.
Yeah.
A telephone adventure game. And then look at the bottom. Don't miss Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade at your local theater. So my cultural zeitgeist was correct.
Very good.
And then this one. I mean, I don't think you're going to be putting this into your kid's mouth. This is Nintendo Serial System.
What? Oh, okay. You could buy Zelda.
Well, no, you're encouraged to mix and match. Nintendo is for breakfast now. Nintendo is 2 cereals in one. Wow! So it was fruit-flavored Marios, mushrooms, and Goombas, and then berry-flavored Links, hearts, and shields. I mean, you mash it all together, you're high as a kite, I think. And it says, look, so Mario says, this tastes super. And Link is saying, we rescued breakfast.
This tastes so super. Now, I'm curious about the telephone line Indiana Jones adventure. It's like,
yeah, voice acting.
Do you decide to go on this epic quest and thwart the Nazis? Or do you stay home and thwart the Nazis?
Press 1 to go through the door. I am playing the Indiana Jones game right now on the PS5.
Okay.
The Hidden Circle or something.
Give us your review. Your
Look.
20-second review.
Oh, it's fine. That's it. It's just fine. I rarely play modern games. Very rare. And the thing is, it's not a video game. It's more a very good story that you're sort of in, and you get to these cutscenes. It's like you might as well just watch the cutscenes on YouTube. It's very basic. It feels like it's for babies. Like, you know, you're walking, and then I don't know, some scorpions might come, and it just tells you what to do. Woof, woof. I'm just like, what are we doing here? I don't know. It's just, I don't really get it, to be honest with you. It's beautiful. Like, it is stunning, but your hand is held through just every step of the game.
You're too used to a sandbox kind of.
You can go anywhere, but you're also really on rails at the same time. The puzzles are pretty basic. I don't know. I tell you what's amazing is the voice acting from that dude is incredible, and they've obviously did a deal with Harrison Ford for his likeness. And yeah, I mean, it is the best fourth. You know, it is the 4th Indiana Jones film. It's incredible. The story is amazing, and the scenes and the acting. It's just, the game's just junk. But you kind of just play it through, and you sort of watch these scenes, and it would be like, they try and bring you into the scenes, and it would be like, wiggle your... I just don't like any of that. I just don't see the point. Just don't have it. I don't want to wiggle them. It doesn't immerse me. It doesn't make me... If anything, it actually takes me out. Anyway, that's my hot take.
I have to do something now? I can't
It's like, wiggle your things so you feel like you're in it. Odd. Also,
So
it is
meta.
It's first person. Very strange, because it's tombs. It's so weird how it's not third person. Bizarre.
And also, you want to see the character.
Yeah, so when you whip up, it will pull out to third person, or when you climb up something, feels quite clunky. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you want to see that silhouette.
I'm kind of playing it with Indy, trying to get her into Indiana Jones, so it's going to take me ages, because, yeah, we play like for an hour and do a tomb, and
Hey,
you know what it's
don't
like.
ice skate uphill. Just like trying to get Scout to enjoy whatever his tattoo is on your arm. Like, Indy, she's got a cool name without...
She hates it. She's like, you can't play it without me, because she likes to do the puzzles, you know? And actually her brain, young people's brain, they're way better at this kind of stuff, because they just think laterally. And when she suggests something, I'm like, no, they wouldn't have thought of that, trust me. And then it is that thing. It's like, oh, okay. I was like, these guys would have they think in straight lines. Because she just say something really, like, oh, go and look at that. It's like that. I'm like, no, that's not a sprite that you can interact with. Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh, shit. You and your old school game mind, man.
Exactly. The wrong mind. I'm too hardwired. And also, when you've done one tomb, when you come out of them, you're like, oh, you know, you're sort of like, oh, it's because it's so dark, and you're solving puzzles and stuff. But you know what it's like. It's beautiful. You can't believe how good it looks. You're kind of like in shock. But it I'd still rather play California games like any day of the week.
Oh, jeez. Ain't no off-the-wall puzzle solving in there.
Yeah. So there you go. S-Jubs, not a fan of Special Missions 25.
No surprise there, Ben. I don't think that's a hot take. But if you want to disagree with me, jump down to the comments. Tell me there's some hidden gem, some merits to the story that I've missed.
I'd be more than happy to sort of sit down and read it again, although I would be constantly getting angry every time I saw Tiger Force, knowing that this was one of the few times that it was, in print. That is a real shame. But there you go. Another issue done.
Still looking for this line that...
So you do not own this. What is your Special Missions game? Have you got many of them, or...?
They're on the rise. I got a whole stack of them recently from a mate.
So it didn't make it into the 90s, because there's, only 3 issues left after this?
It is a product
so
of
it
the
was
80s.
This probably didn't help much.
No. On the decline.
What a shame it didn't have a longer run, though.
Yes, and I think it's almost impossible to catch that lightning in the bottle now, because I feel like a lot of what made Special Missions work was highlighting the toys that were of that time but weren't going to get shine in the main series.
Yeah, yes.
We need to spend some time with these C-list characters.
What a great resource. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I was going to say the letters page, special dispatches for the Special Missions issues.
Yes.
Next month was an October Guard issue. No idea when we get to that, but we are actually, we're doing 2 of these like every 10 regular episodes. We're actually getting through the Special Missions books. We've probably done about 8 now.
Well, let's not
I always look forward to them.
Ben. I would like to sprinkle them in at every stage of Chasing Joe's journey, because
we tend to do 2. That should work out about right. We do 2 every 10, something like that.
It's a lovely tonic.
It is a nice tonic, and tonight I might have some tonic mixed with a truck ton of gin. Because I'm going to the pool halls, S-Jubs. I am so into playing 9-ball pool. I am obsessed. I've been playing pretty much every night. I'm going down with Phoenix, going down with friends. There's so many pool halls in Bournemouth. Who knew pool was having a massive resurgence? I'm just
Is it having a resurgence, or you just more aware?
Or I'm just discovering it. I was like, pool halls everywhere down here. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, pool is evergreen, my friend. Eternal.
Yeah, but dude, I can't. Now I'm playing 9-ball. I will never, ever play 8-ball again. I can't go back. I can't. I adore the game. I watched Colour of Money, and that was it for me. I was like, right, I am getting into pool. And
was it on the back of an episode of Chasing Joe that you rewatched Colour of Money?
Yeah, I think so. Did we mention it? We did.
We absolutely did.
Because
it was in the cultural landscape for...
I've always adored that film. And Cruiser, he's just fast Eddie, man. I love it. Or Vincent, he is in the film. And Eddie Felson from The Hustler, Paul Newman, Scorsese. It's, a lot of people say that is Scorsese light, because he basically did a studio picture that he could come in on time, on budget, and it was relatively commercial. But it's got some creative flair in there. It's beautifully shot. I'm here for it. So yeah, I'll be at the pool halls tonight playing 9-ball. I'm going to hustle. The only thing with hustling is you need to, at some point, stop being crap.
And wear a t-shirt from a toy shop or something?
Yeah.
Backstory to that?
That's it. Get it down, you man. Rent it.
God damn it.
Buy it. It's such a good film. Okay. It's a road film. It's a road movie.
Love it.
Yeah.
But do they have a tiger sting? Imagine taking to the road in one of those bad boys.
Tiger stings seem to be okay on eBay. They're not too punchy. I always have a look. I always end up on eBay after I've read these issues. That's literally what I do. Like the figures that appeared in there. Yeah, it worked on me now. Even now, I'm just like, Tiger Sting. How much is a Tiger Sting? Lifeline. I don't have Lifeline. How much is he? Complete. Yeah. Right. Anyway, we have span our wheels for long enough. I have been BenFlyingRetro. Follow me on Instagram at BenFlyingRetro. Listen to my podcast, People Who Play. Did an episode with Indiana this week because Emma was away in London at some Minecraft exhibition with Scout. I guess we can find S-Jubs right where we are right now. Anything exciting coming up for GI Joburg? Anything on the horizon? What are you guys planning? What are you up to?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. Our most recent recorded episode will have actually gone out live. So if you're listening to this, you would have missed that. But we will be talking about 2 episodes of the cartoon series. Kind of making our way through the classic Sunbow run, a little bit here and there, everywhere. But on the slab, as it were, for GI Joburg episode 390, whatever. We're up there. We're watching Battle for the Train of Gold and Operation Mind Menace. Did those find their way onto a VHS at all?
When you tell me what they're about, I'll know them in depth, but I can't.
Airborne's brother is a telekinetic in Operation Mind Menace.
Right.
Yep. And
are you doing? They're not back-to-back episodes, though, are they?
They are sequential, yeah.
They are. You are going through in order.
We are. We're still in the first season. So Flint is large and in charge. Though, mind you, Operation Mind Menace is very much a Duke episode. So you either had like Duke calling the shots, or you were more focused on Flint. The typical breakdown in classic Sunbow cartoon. And then I haven't rewatched Battle for the Train. What's the Battle for the Train of Gold? Something like that.
It's so cool how they're just all like Hasbro. They're all on YouTube in an official capacity. I love that. Yeah. There's even one channel where they just play them, like kind of like Ready Player One. They just play them on loop, 24/7. You know,
you can't argue with the fact that it's generating revenue. I mean, it is monetized. You're subjected to ads, and Hasbro is just clocking up YouTube ad revenue for, ancient stuff that they happen to own.
Yeah, they do own it. Okay.
I hope those actors are being paid residuals, but I have a feeling they're not.
No, I've only got one thing left to say, and that is Cobra!
Tiger Force!
Tiger!